All right, Assalamu alaikum and good afternoon, everyone.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
It's a very nice time to see all of you this afternoon. So this is our session 6 for business conversation. Well, actually, beginning from these sessions and the next maybe 2 or 3 sessions, we're all gonna focus more on doing a presentation. So basically, we're gonna discuss on how to make to deliver good presentation, right? Okay. As far as doing presentation is concerned, I think all of you are quite familiar with that. It's not something which is quite strange to all of you. I mean, basically, maybe almost most of your assignments require you to do like a presentation, right? Is that right, class? Yeah, I think most of the assignments, perhaps need you to do some kinds of presentation, right? Right. So generally speaking, there is one thing that I really want you to think of and to realize when it comes to doing a presentation. I really want you to consider and try to really understand and really put into your mind that doing a presentation is basically is speaking in front of the audience. So basically, you're doing a speaking. I mean, you are speaking, right? Although I think nowadays people, when it comes to presentations, they might use some supporting tools, just to make everything clear to all of them. They need like visual aids, like the videos and then the sounds. What else? Some writings, some graphics perhaps. Okay, and all of these can be put into a small application which is quite popular to all of us, which is PowerPoint. So that PowerPoint, the Microsoft PowerPoint, I think one of the most popular application that I think all of us has been using it, right? Now, as far as using PowerPoint slides, PowerPoint is our let's say is our supporting tool while we are presenting. Do you think that sometime you might notice, out there, people when they are presenting using the PowerPoint slides, like they've got slides, of course, and they type words or sentences, okay, on the slides, right? And maybe sometimes you might you might see them presenting and reading almost everything on the slides. Did you get my point? They are presenting, okay, using the PowerPoint slides, but instead of facing to the audience, instead of maintaining the eye contact with the audience, I mean, as far as actual presentation is concerned, it's not the online or virtual presentations. It's the actual real presentation where you are facing the audience. Okay. Did you sometimes see somebody presenting and they are just reading everything on the slides, class, instead of facing to the audience? Did you sometime notice that? Or maybe maybe we ourselves might do it. Did you get my point, class?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes. So do you think it's a good way of doing a presentation?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No. Okay. Why do you think, Raihan? Well, why is this not? Why isn't that a good way to do a presentation? Do you have any idea on that? Adam, you wanna say something? Why do you think it's not good to like read every single words or type everything that you need to say on your slides, and you just keep on looking at your slides and reading it from the beginning until the end, and you forget that you are in part of the audience?
Yes, because uh, everything that you type in the slide mm, should be a gist of the topic that you bring to the meeting.
Yeah, yeah,
Then,
yeah. Okay, yeah.
then you should talk the rest without looking at the slide to the audience.
Yeah, some clues, right? Some let's say the main ideas, the titles, perhaps, of I mean the let's say the phrase, or the, yeah, some words, some important keywords of your main points. You might want
Yeah,
to put it on your slides, and the rest on your slide on that particular page. You might want to put some pictures, just to, because basically the PowerPoint slides are there for you to help you to get more of your audience attention, to make them more interested in your presentations. Maybe after looking at the pictures, or watching the videos, or listening to the sounds or music, perhaps make them like more focused on you as a presenter. And because anyway, if you are doing a presentation, basically you are speaking to the audience. You are not reading the paragraph. You are not reading the script you have typed on your slides from the beginning until the end, as Adam would say. So you might want to put like a gist or clues, some important words, some keywords, some important phrases in a bullet, like points A, B, C, or 1, 2, 3, or whatever. You can design anything, but not to write every single words that you need to say, and you just read those from your slides, because you're not gonna do speaking. Instead, you are reading. And class, it must be very clear different. I mean, it must be different between reading and speaking, because when you are reading, your tone is like it's like monotonous. It's not like no variation. It's just like that, from the beginning until the end. But when you are speaking, sometimes you might want to raise your tone, and you might want to you can always have some variations. And also, very often when you are talking, the words are not really sound like scripted. Everything's like from the text. Because you're speaking, sometimes you put like, well, things like that. But if you're reading a text, I think it's uh, yeah, you're gonna sound like reading. Speaking is sometimes you need to pause, you stop for a while, and you put like, well, no, you know what I mean, class. So before discussing any further on what we are on our today's topic on doing a presentations, I really want all of you to realize this one. When it comes to doing a presentation, please make sure that you realize that actually you are speaking, you are not reading. So the function and the uses of the PowerPoint slides are just to help you, maybe remember some points, and also to make your presentations sound like interesting, more attractive and more live, maybe because there are some musics, some sounds and pictures, interesting kinds of designs, colors, and everything, right? Did you get my point, class?
Yes, sir.
All right. Okay, good. So this is the initial point that I really want you to consider. For the rest of our sessions, the next coming session, especially after the mid-semester test, you're gonna focus more on doing presentations. So I really want you to understand some basic concepts, and also try to be more comfortable and try to be more familiar with how to make good, attractive, and also engaging kinds of presentation, right? Okay, right. Now, doing a presentations somehow rather looks similar to like writing an essay, as far as the structures, the structures, some important parts in your presentation basically are similar to writing an essay. So in essay, basically, how many general parts you have in essay writing generally? How many parts you have?
Excuse me, sir. Can you say that again?
When you are writing an essay,
Mm.
there must be some general parts of your essay. Yeah? Maybe 3, maybe, are you familiar with that? I think it's quite popular. It's quite common.
Oh yeah. Mm, maybe around.
Descriptive or narrative?
That's the kinds of essay writing. Okay, that's the kind of essay writing. But the structure of the
There
essay
are
writing.
three, sir.
Okay. Introduction,
like
yeah, content
conclusion.
and conclusion, right? Okay, that's quite common, and I think it's quite generic. Okay, by generic here I mean that it can be, it can also apply to some other skills like speaking, or like doing a presentation. So actually a presentation will have these 3 general structures. So in every presentation there must be a introduction. What else, class, of that? Content or body, or the main points of your presentation. And of course the last is, as usual, is the closing, or the ending part of your presentation, right? As for today's topic, we're going to focus more on the introduction. Okay, and we're gonna cover the rest of the topics in the next coming sessions. As for today, we're going to focus on the introduction. And in the introduction itself, class, actually it might consist other 3 general parts. In other words, in the introduction, in your introductory part of your presentation, you might want to say that there are also 3 parts: the introduction of your introduction, and then the maybe you wanna explain the general points of your presentation, which is like the body of your introduction. You know what I mean? And at the end, maybe you wanna give some additional information. Maybe you want to tell to the audience that there will be like a question and answer sessions, or maybe you're gonna say to them that you're gonna play videos for them to watch. Maybe, like additional information. That will be the end of your introduction. You know what I mean, class? So in the whole presentation might have 3 general structures: introduction, body, and then conclusion. And in the introduction itself, maybe like, I don't know, maybe like 5 minutes or 3 minutes, or maybe it's all depend. Even in the introduction itself, it may contain three general parts. Other 3 general parts: the introduction of your introduction, I mean the introductory part, in the introductory part of the introduction, and then you're gonna tell what your general points that you're gonna cover in your presentation, and at the end maybe you're gonna share some additional information. So that will be the general structures of your introduction. Okay. Now, as the introduction to your introduction, okay, what you gonna say at the very beginning of your introduction? You think, let's say, for example, you're gonna present on, let's say, what's your near assignment with presentation? Do you have any assignment on doing a presentation so far?
No, sir.
Not yet. Okay,
Not yet.
that's cool. Then you're gonna have later on. Don't worry, you're gonna have after the mid-semester test in this class. You're gonna do some presentations. Okay, right. So what do you think you're gonna say at the very beginning of your introduction? Generally speaking, class.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, of course, a greeting. Okay, and maybe you wanna introduce yourself. Okay, that would be just general ways to start your introduction. You might want to introduce yourself if it is if you think it is what do you call it is good to introduce yourself. It's okay, but if not, then just go to your title. Okay, after greeting, then you mention your title. What's you gonna talk? What's your topic? Okay, just to let the audience focus on your topic. That will be the initial parts of the introduction. Anyway, before discussing more on that, let's try to listen to an audio file about what we need to do before stepping out, before doing a presentation. What should we do, and what are the things that we need to pay attention and yeah, to consider, so that we can do our best in our presentations class, right? So let me share an audio here. Okay, it should be all windows. Do I have that? Okay, so let me share sound, and there you go.
Module 3, Presentations.
Unit 6, Part 1, Exercise 4.
So can you listen to the audio right now?
Yes, sir.
Is it clear enough?
Yes.
Okay.
Page 57. Listen to a group of management trainees talking about the preparation of presentations. Number the pictures in your book in the order in which they are mentioned in the recording.
The presentation. What do you have to do to prepare it?
The most important thing.
Module 3, Presentations.
Recording.
Now let's think about the preparation for the presentation. What do you have to do to prepare it?
The most important thing is to know about the audience. Find out about...
Yes, but you need to make sure of your objectives first. So decide on the objectives, what you want the talk to achieve.
Yes, but to do that, you need to know about the audience. Their knowledge, what they want to know, everything like that.
Yes, all that's important.
Yes, true.
So audience and objectives.
Yeah.
Okay. You got two things to consider before making before doing a presentation. So what are the two?
Knowing about the audience.
Knowing about the audience, and also what else?
Knowing about the knowledge that they want to hear.
Okay, it's all about audience. Anything else? There are two, right, class? Do you listen to another one? Another point?
You should find objective.
Objective. Okay, so let me repeat.
Find out about...
Yes, but you need
Pictures
to...
in your book in the order in which they are mentioned in the recording.
Now let's think about the preparation for the presentation. What do you have to do to prepare it?
The most important thing is to know about the audience. Find out about...
Yes, but you need to make sure of your objectives first. So
audience, and then another guy telling us about the objective, right? So objectives like the goals. What do you want the audience to get from you? Okay, or what is the purpose of your whole presentations, right? So that's what we mean by the objective. Okay.
Decide on the objectives, what you want the talk to achieve.
Yes, but to do that, you need to know about the audience, their knowledge, what they want to know, everything like that.
Yes, all that's important.
Yes, true.
So audience and objectives.
Yes,
Yeah.
right.
Okay, then the third thing is you have to go through the content. Gather.
What is the third one? Plus
The content.
the
Content.
the content. Okay, the content. So after knowing the objective and also getting familiar with what type of audience you are gonna face, maybe their class, their grades, their levels, everything related to your audience, you need to know as much as possible. And then after that, you need to know
Information, organize it.
Their knowledge, what they want to know, everything like that.
Yes, all that's important.
Yes, true.
So audience and objectives.
Yes,
Yeah.
right.
Okay, then the third thing is you have to go through the content. Gather information, organize it, decide on a structure.
Yes, get a good structure, I agree. Then once...
okay, get a good structures, and it also applies to your slides, the PowerPoint slides. I'm not really good at designing the PowerPoint slides, but you need to really pay attention to this when you are doing the formal kinds of presentations. So you need to have a good design of the template. Should be very clear, not too many writing, not too many words. Make everything simple, clear, and easy to understand, and also attractive at the same time. The color, the design. You know what I mean, class? Did you get the point? So make sure not to put many things on your slide. Okay, otherwise, then you're gonna make your audience confused to focus on a particular information that you're gonna share. Okay.
The structure is okay. You need visuals, any graphs and that sort of thing.
Yes, the
What else
visual
is that?
supports.
Then
Visual report.
Come again.
Visual report.
Visual support. Okay, visual
Oh, yeah,
support.
okay.
Well, basically, you might want to say like visual aids, because visual aids, visual aids. Okay, so basically it's like aids is like the helps. Visual aids. Something related to something which is visual, like pictures, videos. Okay, maybe the sounds also included in that. Okay, so all this one you call it like visual aids or visual aids or visual supports or supportings.
well, you could write it all out, at least the introduction, just to practice it. Some people write out everything, some don't. It depends.
Yes, I think.
So what else after that? What else you need to consider?
Write an introduction.
Okay, writing the notes. Okay, you might want to write some notes. Can be everything what you're gonna say, but it all depends. Okay, maybe just the main points. Okay, right.
I think that's a good point. But practice is really very important. A key part of the preparation is to actually practice it, to give the presentation. Practice until you could do it just from notes.
Okay, so then the next one is, of course, one of the very important, very strategic, and also it's practice. That's like the core of your preparations. If you want to be well prepared, you need to put more practices. Okay.
And what else?
Check all the language. Keep it simple. Make sure there's no mistakes on the visuals, spelling and all that.
And I think you should check that the room is okay and the equipment.
Until you could do it just from notes. Then what else?
Okay. So before checking the rooms, make sure that the room is good, or support your presentations. Okay, everything there. Okay. But before that, you need to consider this one. What is that?
Check all the language. Keep it simple.
What is that?
Simple language.
Keep the language simple.
Check on your language, and make it simple.
Simple language.
Okay, simple language. It's all depends, you know, it's all depends on your audience. Okay.
Sure there's no mistakes on the visuals, spelling and all that.
Okay, check the spelling, you know, check the grammar and everything, right?
And I think you should check that the room is okay and the equipment.
Yeah, imagine.
Okay, then after that, you need to also consider the room, whether the equipments are all available there. You know, if you are using the laptop, are you going to bring your own laptop, or are you going to use their available laptops over there? How about the power? You know, the power source, maybe, you know, I don't know, the cables and everything, the lights. You know, you need to really be familiar with all of that and make sure everything's run very smoothly.
No slide projector
Or the overhead has got no bulb in it.
Okay, so if I go to the our slides, to this slide, where are we? Where is our slide? I don't have it here. Hold on, first. I'm looking for today's PowerPoint. I haven't opened it. Hold on, please. Let me go. Oh, I haven't opened it yet. Hold on, class. Okay, there you go. I thought I have opened the slide already, but I missed somewhere. It's still opening now. Let me stop sharing screen then. So waiting for my slides to open. Right. So again, can you try to remember what are some things that you need to consider to prepare for your presentation?
Check the audience.
All right. Okay. Know your audience. Okay. And objective.
Talk about using simple language as possible.
Okay, that's the language from the very beginning, maybe, you know, like okay, know your audience, and then what else related to that is the objective, right?
Oh yeah, the objective.
Okay, the objective. So what else other than that?
Lagi ya?
Okay. All right. Okay. So
The
like
intonation, sir.
come again?
The intonation.
The intonation. Oh, is it there? Well, of course, it should have been part of your preparation. That's really part of your practice, maybe the intonation, everything. Okay. All right. So let me share today's slides. There you go. Okay. Do you see the slides on the screen right now?
Not yet.
Not yet. Is it on?
Yeah, I see. Yeah.
Okay. Good. It seems that I still can't do my slideshow, so I hope that everything is clear there. So let's go to this page now. Right, class? So these are the pictures that you're gonna match with the audio that we are listening to just now. Okay, how they discuss on the what to consider while preparing for a presentation. So number one over here, you get the audience. Okay, number one here. You got you need to know your audience, what kind of audience. Number two is the objective. What about number three here? Beginning, middle, and end.
Structure.
Is your structures of your presentation. Yeah, what you're gonna put in the beginning, in the middle, and the okay, in the content. Okay, and at the end of your presentations. And number four, what is it? Where's number four? 1, 2, 3, 4. What is it for? Like a graph. It's
graphics, stats,
yeah,
stats.
Exactly. It's just a sample. You know, it could be graphics, it could be videos, it could be sounds. You know, so this one you call it a visual aids or visual supports, right, class? I mean, basically, you've got all these visual supports available in your PowerPoint slides. So basically, you can always do this in your PowerPoint slides. Number 5. What do we have there? Number 5. Here.
Notes.
Notes. Okay, you may want to make notes. You can,
Making paragraph.
yeah, it could be a paragraphs. Okay, could be main ideas, clues, you know, thing like that. Okay, number 5. Number 6. This is the most important part of your practice. Okay, you need to spend some more time on this. Okay, of course, some other numbers are need you to do some time. Okay, need some more of your time, but when it comes to actual exercise, actual practice, you might want to do a lot more time for this. Okay, and then after practicing, of course, at the same time, okay, you don't have to wait to do number 7 after practicing. Of course, at the same time, you need to be very careful with your grammar, check your words, check everything, okay, to make sure there's no mistake. Right, guys? Checking your words. And the last one is, what is the last one here, number 8?
Checking the equipment.
Checking the equipments and the rooms and everything. Okay, right. Okay, so these are the 8 elements or the 8 things that all of us need to go about and really pay attention so that we can have good presentations next time. Okay, right. So let's go to when it comes to the audience. Okay, sorry, I think the picture is not really clear over here. Okay, what can you get from the pictures over here? Class, is it clear enough?
Yes, sir.
There is somebody presenting. There is a presenter there. Okay, and there are some audience. Got some questions over here. Do you think that the audience are focusing on the
No.
explanation? They seem that they are talking to each other, right? I mean, they are like confused and what's he talking about? You know, like, can you see the pictures? It's not really clear. Okay, right. Now, okay. So basically, they're complaining. They are complaining about the way the presenter is doing his presentation, delivering his presentations. And down here, number 1, A, B, C, D, E is just like their expressions of the problem that they are having. Okay, is it clear enough for you to read number 1A over here?
Yes, sir.
Right. Can you try to read out, class? Anyone? Number 1A?
What on earth is she talking about? I have no idea.
Yeah, well, that must be a big problem. What do you think? What is the cause of the problem? What's going on there? Why did he say that to the speaker or to the presenter?
He's talking about everything, not the center of his point.
Yeah, maybe he's the way he talks, or maybe some words that he's using. I mean, the presenter is using some words are quite difficult to understand, or maybe not really clear or confusing, or maybe the presenter hasn't done enough, hasn't got enough information about the audience. You know, what type of audience. You know, their their expertise, their knowledge, and everything about the audience. So he talked about something that maybe the audience are not really having not enough understanding on that. Okay, so what on earth is he talking about? I have no idea, right? And number B is, I think, is quite interesting. Number B. Can anyone read 1B?
Hey, Sarah, wake up,
Okay.
it's finished.
Read it.
Hey, Sarah, wake up, it's finished.
It must have been a big problem there. What do you think? What's going on there?
I think the presentation seems to be bored for them.
Exactly, you know. Oh, we try our best not to have this experience, you know.
That's way downright cruel.
You can imagine, like Sarah, she's among the audience, and she has been sleeping from the beginning until the end of the presentations. So it must have been a boring kind of presentations. Oh, sorry, class. Hold on for a while. I need to. Hold on for a while. Where is it? right? Okay, so basically these are some what do you call, some difficult situations that you might that maybe some of us might have this experience, you know. How could we make like the audience fall asleep during our presentation? So this is something that we might avoid, you know, try our best not to be in this situation, right? Okay. And also like read that, I can't read that, I need a pair of binoculars, I need the glasses to see your text on your slide because it is too small maybe, right? Okay, so this is another thing to avoid, not to write every single words on your slides and make everything like very small to read. Okay, and then another one here like 1D, speak up, I can't hear a thing, speak up, hey, the presenter, can you speak up, I can't hear. Maybe the presenter speaks too slow and too low, you know, the voice is not really clear, right? Okay, so these are just possible problems that a presenter can face during the presentation, okay, which may be because of not enough preparation. Okay, right, class? So and that is why the question of being well prepared is very important, especially when it comes to knowing your audience. Of course, for you won't have any big problem because, you know, you are presenting in front of your classmates whom maybe you know quite well for quite some time, you know. But if you are presenting to some other audience, let's say, for example, another university students, you need to be very careful. You need to know their, I mean, their where they are coming from, which part of the city or what kinds of situation they are in. You know, also their common knowledge. You know, if they're university students, maybe it won't be a big problem. What about if they're high school students? You are presenting in front of the high school students. That would be a little bit more challenging. And what about if you are talking to the kindergarten students? You think it is easier to talk to them? What do you think?
Yes.
I think the younger the audience, the harder it would be.
Come again, Edo?
I think the younger the audience, the harder it will be.
Yeah, could be, you know. Anyone here has the experience of teaching the kindergarten kids?
Yes, sir.
Who's that? Hikmah,
Me.
are you?
Yeah.
Oh, how do you feel? Is it enjoying time or?
Yeah, I think sometimes I feel it's a little bit funny, but sometimes I feel too tired because yeah,
Exactly.
she just playing that she
Exactly.
wants.
So you are not busy with explaining, you know,
Yeah.
you kind of like spend some of your time, most of your time, like want to make them like, you know, listen to you, or, you know, like they're playing here and there. You are busy with other things, you know, because basically you are not really teaching. You are like, be like with them, you know, playing with them and everything, you know, teaching. You are playing and also teaching, playing and
Yeah.
teaching. So not everyone is good at that, you know. Maybe some of you might prefer teaching the high school students rather than the kindergarten kids. Okay, right. Now, okay, I think at the beginning of our class we have discussed some structures of your introduction. Okay, that even in the introduction itself, it has like a introductory part, like greetings and introducing your names or your topic. And also there is a body of your introduction, like let's say the general ideas or the main points of your whole presentations. And also you might want to end your introduction with some additional information, like you're telling them that there will be a question and answer sessions or whatever, you know. This is additional information, right? Now I'm gonna play two more audio files where the speaker, the presenters are giving you examples of their introduction to the main presentations, right? and I want you to compare between the two and tell me which one is better, all right, between the first or the second presenters. Let me share you another audio here. This is the first one.
Page 59. Listen to the beginning of a presentation. Is it a good introduction? And can you label its structure?
Okay, are you ready, class? Is it clear enough?
Yes.
Okay, so this is the first one, okay?
Thank you for coming today. Brand identity is a key issue, and what it means is how we are seen by our customers and how our products are recognized, and what our consumers think of us as a company. And I should also say what they think of our products and the name, what telco means for them. And advertising is part of it, of course, though not something I'm going to talk about now, except to say that as for brand image, it's important in that area too. Advertising, that is.
So do you have any idea on what she's talking?
Market planning.
Market planning, okay. All right. And then what about the body? Do you have any ideas on the main ideas there?
You wanna advertise something?
Okay, right. Is it clear enough? It's the right. Let's compare to the second one over here, class. Let me share another audio here. There you go.
Unit 6, Part 3. Listen to another introduction to a presentation.
Okay, listen to another introduction to the presentation.
Is it a good introduction? And can you label its structure?
Okay, thanks. I'm here to talk about the design proposals for the production plant at Taipei. Now, my talk will be in 3 parts, followed by a 30-minute discussion. I'm going to start with the background to each proposal, something about our negotiations with the Taiwanese government, and then in the second part, I'll go over the main characteristics of each proposal, Proposal 1 and Proposal 2. Then in the third part, I'll highlight some key considerations we have to bear in mind. Finally, I'll end with an invitation to ask questions or make any comments that you'd like. We'll discuss anything that was in the talk. Okay? So, to begin with, a few words on the history of our interest.
All right, class. So what do you think about the second presenter?
More structured than the first.
Exactly, and I think right away, although we might not get the details of what he's saying, but at least generally speaking, we might want to say that the second one is like more structured. Is that?
Yes.
And it's clear point by point, and the introduction part also, and then the main ideas, like the content or the body of the introduction is very clear, and also like at the end, the end of the introduction also is also clear. Let's try to listen to this one. I think this is more interesting to learn.
60. Introduction. And can you label its
design proposals for the production plant? Thanks. I'm here to talk about the design proposals for the production plant at Taipei.
Okay.
For the production plant at Taipei.
Its structure.
Okay, thanks. I'm here to talk about the design proposals for the production plant at Taipei.
So this is, can you consider this as the introduction, the introductory part of his introduction, class? Can we consider that like the introduction, the introductory part of his introduction? What is he doing there? Class, are you there? Are you listening, class?
I was confused on some things, right?
Oh, are you confused? Right. So let's try to look at the introductory part of his introduction. Okay, what is he doing here?
And can you label its structure?
Okay, thanks. I'm here to talk about the design proposals for the production plant at Taipei.
So what is he saying? He's gonna
construct the design label for construction.
Okay, so basically he's telling us about the title, right? The title of his, the topic or the title of his presentation. So this is like considered as the introduction to the introduction. I mean, maybe he skipped the greetings and introducing his names. Okay, so he directly go into, maybe the introductions has been done before. So now he's starting to inform us the title of the topic of his presentations. And then after that,
Now, my talk will be in 3 parts, followed by a 30-minute discussion.
okay, so he's explaining about what?
He's discussing about his parts for 3 minutes.
Yeah, the structures, right? The general structures of his whole presentation. So there are 3 parts. The first one is this, the second one is that, and the third one is this. Okay, did you get the point, class?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so these are the 3 parts.
I'm going to start with the background to each proposal, something about our negotiations with the Taiwanese government.
Yeah, the second
and
part.
Then in the second part, I'll go over the main characteristics of each proposal. Proposal 1 and
Main
Proposal
characteristics.
2.
Okay, this is the part, the second part.
Then in the third part, I'll highlight some key considerations we have to bear in mind.
Okay.
Finally, I'll end with an invitation to ask questions or make any comments that you'd like.
Okay, so after explaining the 3 parts, okay, that will be like a question and answer session. So basically, this is like the body of the introduction. Did you get the point, class?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so first the introduction about the topic and everything, okay, and then the general structures of the whole presentations, and after that, at the end,
we'll discuss anything that was in the talk. Okay? So to begin with,
so that's all. I mean, so when it comes so that's the start of his whole presentation. So basically, he's done with the introduction. So now he is into the body or the main points of his whole presentation class. Right. So basically, these are some important things that you need to pay attention when it comes to the introduction of your presentation. So again, you might want to listen on your own the audio files and also the PowerPoint slides to help you, try to get some other important things that you need in order for you to have a good presentation, especially when it comes to the introduction, right, class? So from now, well, this is the session 6. So next week's gonna be our session 7. That will be the final class before you're getting your mid-semester test. So most probably for the next session, we are not gonna be in Zoom, right? So you're gonna learn on your own. It's still on the doing presentation. So basically, maybe it's like how to design your slides or design your the visual aids and everything, the visual aids and how to make it more interesting, things like that. So you might want to learn on your own. And for your mid-semester test, this time for your mid-semester test, you're gonna give me a video recording of you and with your partner doing the one of the samples of the conversation that we have so far. I'll inform you later on which one you should do. Okay, I'll inform you later on. Okay, whether to design one particular samples, or I might just leave for you to make your own. That's for your mid-semester test. So from now on, class, you need to decide who's going to be your partner. In other words, you are supposed to be in pairs. Okay, from today, you might want to decide. As for the most of this class, you might want to stick to the similar pairs that you had before, or you may want to change. So I leave it up for you to decide. And for some seniors, maybe you might want to be with among the seniors. I'll leave it to you. You may decide later on. Okay. So basically, on your mid-semester test, you're gonna give me your video recording based on the sample of the conversation that we have done so far. Make it very simple, okay? But of course, pay attention to the speaking. It's gonna be like speaking, not reading. make sure that you are really enjoy your your conversation while doing your video recording class, right? Okay, so well, I think so far it's. Do you have any more questions to raise, guys?
I do, sir.
Yes, go.
Uh,
Go ahead.
I'm curious about something, so I'm gonna ask just this one question. Not every people can present.
Present. Sorry, not
Yes,
present.
not present in front of the public when they're presenting.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Because sometimes they're nervous.
Exactly.
About
Right.
that. So my question is, how do you get rid of the nervousness about speech in front of the public, sir?
Well, actually, I think you have done the course on public speaking. It is more into public speaking, actually. If you have done that, you should have got some informations, and be it the practical kinds of thing, the theories and things like that. But actually, it's supposed to be come from your own self. If you are sharing something that you like, and that says one of the thing, but another, you might want to consider that presenting is just like speaking. That's the thing, if but the difference, of course, there are so many people there. When you are speaking in a casual conversation, of course, there are some 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But basically, because you are close to them, you are close to your friends, so you speak it with no problems, because actually when you are speaking with your friends, your classmates, actually you are speaking in public. So actually you are doing public speaking, but it is to somebody, to those you are you know well. You know what I mean? I think most of you would feel not. You won't feel like that kinds of fear or anxiety to speak to your classmates, right? Is that right, class? Why? Because you are close to them, you know them, and the fear is not really that challenging. But because those audience, somebody you don't know, that's challenging, is that would be like a very challenging part, to start speaking in front of people you don't know, right? So, of course, there are some practical things to do, like commonly speaking, people would advise you to say, like, take a deep breath, that, like that, and then say to yourself, "I can do this." There is nothing to worry about that. Okay. Well, actually, there are so many things I might share in this occasion, because I'm also teaching public speaking this semester. I might share you some more information after this time. I've got some videos. I've got some things which is quite interesting. How to. Well, of course, you can always. You can always get all those information from YouTube. Of course, they are quite available. There are some strategies and tricks also when you are. That's before you are going to the stage, so you have to feel that. Basically, you are you are physically able to go on the stage. You say to yourself, "I can do this." Like you're motivating yourself, and then you take a deep breath and just say to yourself, "I can do this, man. I can do this." This is like a self motivational part before going on the stage. But if you are on the stage, there are some other things that you want to do, right? Instead of looking like there are so many people, you might want to just focus on one. I mean, just to reduce your fear. Let's say, for example, there are hundreds of them in front of you. So instead of looking at every eyes in front of you, it make you like feel feel nervous. So you might want to focus only to one person. Just consider there are only one person here. Or maybe to avoid that, you might want to reduce direct eye contact. You are not staring at their eyes, so instead you are looking at the top of their head, just consider there is just nobody here. You know what I mean, class? Well, actually, there are a lot more things to say on some practical things. But basically, you might want to start from the understanding that doing public speaking or doing presentations in front of your friends or in front of the public, actually you are speaking. Okay, number one, you are speaking. So speaking is just nothing. You're speaking. You just speak it. And number two, make sure maybe if it's possible, choose the topic that you are interesting, that you are happy with, you are interested in, like your passion. For example, you like music, you share something about music, then you're gonna fully confident to start your presentation, right, Ray? There might be
That answers my questions. Thank you.
Well, all right. There must be some many things to discuss on that. Basically, and very interesting questions, right, class? So, and anything more about our so next session we might not see in Zoom, and after that you're gonna have your mid-semester test, and your mid-semester test is gonna be a video recording. I think the first one from now on. I don't know. Is it gonna be your first video recording?
Yes, sir.
All right. So it's like usually I would ask you like every week, but this time I think well, you can have some time. So mid-semester test, you're gonna give me your video recording, right? Any more questions so far, class? Nila? Yes, Adam?
It's a bit off topic,
Okay.
but are we really going to campus maybe after Idul Fitri?
Most probably, but I'm not sure yet. Okay, but I heard the information that we're gonna start the face-to-face meeting in campus after after Idul Fitri, after the Lebaran, maybe. We might start from like taking turns. Maybe not all of you would be there, just to avoid the crowd. Maybe like in schedules. I don't know. There should be like a schedules of taking turn. Maybe, I don't know, right? But most probably, we might meet face to face in the real classroom after Idul Fitri. Hopefully, class. So we're gonna see you there.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Right? Any more questions?
For the partners, should we have 2 partners or more than 2?
No, it's a conversation between the two, so it's a pair. So only
Okay.
it's a pair. Even the presentation later on is only also in pair, just to make so many groups, so that that there are going to be many groups to present for the next few sessions after the mid-semester test class, right? Any more questions? Ray? Done, Ray. Red? Any questions? Berlian? G? Fatin? No more questions? Okay. Janice? Chani? Fitria? Rifki? Marshanda? Nebras?
No, sir, it's clear.
All right then. Okay, so if there's no more questions, then I think that's all for our today's topic. So please try to again listen to the audio files and read the slides. Try to learn on your own just to improve your presentations for the next coming sessions. Right, class? That's all for today. Thank you very much for coming. We'll see you next time. Then, Assalamualaikum and good afternoon, everyone.
Waalaikumsalam.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome.